This time on Pole Barn Garage, we bring the Scrapyard Eagle back from the dead to fly again. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. It's time for another episode of Watch Dalton Freeze to Death. Or, let's get back on the AMC Eagle SX4. We've got a bunch of stuff to do today, well, and tomorrow, and the next day. We got a new carburetor for it, something pretty special I want to show you there. We got some strut rod bushings, because those are wasted. Fuel filter, oil change, sound deadening material for the floor pans. Where I want to get started today is let's patch that hole that we found in the floor pans last episode. Here's the offending holes. So we got this one here that somebody cut out for some reason, which is not a bad thing, because these really aren't rust holes. They're more like dumbass holes. This is a fork loader that's shoved through here in the scrapyard. It looks like it's been torched out or something, so we need to pound that back flat a little bit. And we got a little hole here. That's an actual rust hole. It's not too bad though. So all we're going to do is just kind of clean this up and pound that flat, cut the rust out, and just screw some metal right over the top of it. Call it a day. I'm just going to gently persuade this back into shape. And I'm going to go ahead and chop this rust hole out here just to keep it from spreading. Any other offenders in here? I don't think so. This thing's actually very solid. This is kind of what I meant last episode when I said we would be doing this properly-ish. So, yeah, we cut the rust out. But, you know, that's as far as we're going. We're just going to stick right over the top. We'll go ahead and clean these up properly. Yeah. And before we put anything down, I'm going to go ahead and just give it a coat of tractor paint. That way there's something in between the two pieces of metal. It'll extend the longevity from probably 5 years to probably 15 years, which is, you know, more than likely longer than I'll own the car or be alive. You know, like Rust-Oleum and stuff, tractor paint, it always says it kills rust, stops rust, and I found that to pretty well be the case. I think the reason they can do that, I think it's like mildly acidic or has some phosphorus in it maybe, and that does, I mean it does, it kills the rust. I've seen it done. Just coat these areas, and we're going to end up painting this entire floor with tractor paint. So here's our holes, here's our paint, everything's looking kind of sealed on there, right? No, not really, whatever. We're going to precisely measure this, you know, about, let's see, about that wide. And, about that long. This is a nibbler. This is a piece of scrap metal. Nibbler goes zing zing. Cut out scrap metal. This is the poor man's plasma cutter. Here, you can pick these up pretty much any hardware store, and they work really good. The only downside to the nibbler is it produces thousands and thousands and thousands of nearly microscopic pieces of metal that wind up in your shoes, arms, clothing, face, eyeballs, etc. Always use your proper PPE. Take our piece of metal here, right? Just kind of set it over there, and then, you know, let it tell us what it wants to be seen. A little bit of a 27-degree bend there. Yeah, 14-degree. Okay, well, you know what? That one was pretty easy. Then basically we'll repeat that over and over and over. We'll put this one in the metal brake right here. And kind of, yeah, that should do it. Oh, nailed it. I'll give a little protective coating to the back sides of them. Just like that. While that paint's still wet, I'm going to shoot some self-tappers in it. You know, while this may look like an innocuous pack of smokes, but no, it's full of goodness. The only fastener a man ever needs. Hopefully there's not a transmission behind there. So you get the idea. I'm going to repeat that about 14,000 times. Then we can clean up this stuff, throw some paint on the floor, and then put some cool sound deadener in here. And there we go. 3 perfectly good floor pan patches. And look, you know what? How many times are you out showing off the floor of your car? Never. So who cares? It'll work just fine. We're going to vacuum up a lot of this loose rust and paint and stuff and get in here and give her a coat of paint. I want you to watch in amazement as these patch panels perfectly blend into the floor. Using our magic erasing brush. Erase the butchery. Watch close now, you'll miss it. Look at that, it's gone. The butchery is gone. That's welded, sealed, perfectly good to go. Just like this rusty floorboard here. See this? See this? It's gone, it's fixed. Look at that, it's amazing. Wow, just look at it. So anyway, I'm just going to go ahead and fix these floors permanently and forever. And we'll never worry about it again. I didn't see nothing. Did you see something? If you even think about telling someone about this, you know what they say. Snitches get self-tapped. Butchery erased. And boom, there we go. Just like she just rolled out of Kenosha or Canada or wherever this thing was built. So we gotta let that dry up before we can put our sound deadener. Kill mat. This is the sound deadener we're gonna use, and it just comes in these tiles. I got the 80 mil variety, which is twice as thick as their other stuff. But it's super easy to put in, and it kicks ass. And it's cheap. It was only 80 bucks for that 36 square feet of it. Is there any better combination than an open flame and paint cubes? I don't think so. While we got her up in the air, I figured let's go ahead and change the oil on this thing. Cheapo microguard filter, and because the drain plug is stripped out on it, which is why the oil just mysteriously disappears frequently. I got one of these, you know, universal, guaranteed to never work alligator clip style things here. And, you know, it just kind of, you pop it up in there. It's supposed to bend. Oh, I guess it doesn't. You just feed this up in there. Then that sits inside the oil pan. You tighten this down until it seals that rubber ring up against the outside of the pan. It's still going to leak, but it'll probably leak less. That's good enough for me at the moment. I'm hoping there's not too much oil actually left in this thing. It seems to have vomited most of it onto the ground. Where's the oil filter on this thing? Back here, maybe? What on earth? Ooh, it smells like straight gasoline. I bet I could light that on fire. I have very, very, very minimal expectations on the, as far as this engine not being a complete, total pile of garbage. Let's let that trickle out. I'm trying to figure out where the damn oil filter is. Damn oil filter is up here. And I definitely bought the wrong one, so let's yank this off and see what kind of filter that is. That's strange. Oh, this is inconvenient as hell. Yeah. Oh. Interesting. Here's our old filter, Napa Gold 1522. And, you know, I got the adapter broken, shoved, and yeah, it's stuck on there. Well, I was trying to thread this oil filter on, and this came out with it because it's the wrong size thread. What the hell is this? I don't know, some kind of tube that went up inside of the other one. It's the right size thread on one side, but that doesn't really help us any. It's also full of metal, which is great. Let's move on from that for a moment until I can get up to the parts store and try to get this drain plug plugged. I'm going to try to just wipe off the outside of this. Yeah, the threads are... they're pretty bad. Get this little alligator clip up into the pan. There we go. Oh wow, I've never actually used one of these. Yeah, there it went. It found something to latch onto. I mean, this sucks, but desperate times and all that, right? Just a little bit extra oomph. One more for good measure. Famous last words. It's pretty tight, so I guess we could put oil in it. See if it drains out on the ground. I'll get the drain pan ready. I got the finest oil money can buy, which is the most generic, cheap, bulk quantity oil I could buy. This being a 4.0, I think, should be a roller cam. So you don't really need the zinc and whatnot in here, but it doesn't hurt. And, most importantly, which, you know, is the main reason I buy diesel oil, and so compared to some of your other YouTubers, is it's cheap, and that's why I buy it. Anyway, it's a 2.5 gallon jug. We got to put probably 5, maybe 6 quarts in, so there's no level indicator on this jug. So that's cool. We'll just guess. Oh no! Get back here. Ew. I don't think it's pouring on the ground yet. Of course, this stuff is basically molasses. Will it even leak? Let's check the stick. Feels like about half of that. Should have had a little bit to work its way down in there now. Full. Nailed it. Bingo. I'll put a little extra splash in there for the filter. It's not even pouring out on the ground. Well, way down here underneath the spaghetti, you see our new oil filter is installed. It's the next night, and most of the paint is dry, but it has taken forever because of the cold. And it is just nauseous in here, man. I mean, it just reeks of chemicals. Well, you can see our patches. They look really good. So, I got JD here. We're going to tag team this, and he's going to put the kill mat on one side, and I'll do the other side. Get this sucker all sound deadened up, and we're going to start in the middle and work our way out, okay, bud? Okay. You're probably, around all these humps and stuff, you'll probably have to cut some relief cuts, you know, to kind of make it fit. It doesn't have to be perfect, just decent. Yeah. And just keep an eye out for all the holes, you know. Yeah, there's some extra holes. I'm not sure what they're for, but
leave them just in case.
Yeah, probably not a bad idea. No, don't worry about that. Peel the back off of it first.
Okay.
Here, all right, fine. We'll do an instructional on it. Okay, peel the back off. Indeed. Now, you're going to want to set one edge first, and it's going to be the edge with the bend in it. So, go ahead, and if we're going to, well, let's see. Start at the very front, probably.
Like?
So I'd go sideways. I'd go crossways.
Okay.
Yeah, cover more area. Go as high as you can. And set the top edge. Yep. Set the top edge with a little pressure, and it'll stick really good. Okay. There you go. Now, roll it down the right-hand side. There you go. It's kind of push, 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 push. Push, push hard. Use your fist. There you go. Now just work your way from the right to the left, and that'll make sure there's no air underneath it. See what I mean? Yeah. Kind of like when you put the stickers on your car. Yeah, hell yeah. That's perfect. And just, yeah, use your fist to kind of make the bends and shapes. You don't have to bend it beforehand. You can do it. There. Nice. Yep. Now repeat that, well, a lot, and call it good.
You want me to do like up here too?
Yes, but start where the...
Okay, well, yeah, up here.
Yeah. Make sure you're butting them up against each other. Not overlapping, but...
Yeah.
So when you go in with it, kind of just slide it like this until it butts that next one up.
Okay.
So just kind of, there you go. Now push that top edge down. There you go. Now run it all the way across the top edge so don't try to move. That's good enough. That's fine. Oh. Ew. Yikes. Well, yeah, definitely work your outside edge, and we'll do the middle last. Yeah. I'll do the same. Watch as JD demonstrates the art of using the scissors as the thing. Indeed. Pro tips all day right here. I'm done. Somebody's taking forever. Who's that?
Nobody.
So, notice how mine is all like half-assed and just kind of like stuck in there with bits and pieces, and you know. And JD's is all rectangles and symmetrical, and you know, someday you might be a car builder instead of just some idiot crappy lean-to. It's done.
Yeah.
Looks pretty good. Good job. That should definitely helps. Yeah, pretend to be a rock.
Yeah.
Brain level 1000. We will put the Eagles carpet in the washing machine to clean it. It's gonna work just fine.
Oh, yeah.
The good thing about being single, I'd never get away with this if I was married. Okay, there's one. We'll put the spare tire cover in with the hatch. And then we'll put the passenger compartment carpet in by itself because it's bigger.
Yeah.
I mean, it should just be like washing a rug, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Totally.
Do we use fabric softener? Let's put her on delicate. With an extra rinse. Super cold water. Maybe an extra shot of soap here. There we go. Ooh, here, I got some Hoover carpet detergent right here. We'll add some of that too.
Yeah.
There we go. This worked well. I mean, other than overflowing my washing machine. But other than that, it worked great. Well, not really. Didn't even get that light from. What was that? No.
Oh.
But yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's got to have gotten some of the rat piss out of it.
Yeah.
It does look better. Maybe a vacuum now.
Yeah. Or maybe you could scrub it. Even better.
Okay, so now we'll try this.
You're a professional.
Yeah. Out of juice, but our crap container's not even full.
Not good enough.
Where did it go?
It cleaned that pretty good.
It did. It does a good job. It's just
It needs to go in the washing machine.
house carpets are generally flat, not, so it's not like the best. I don't think we can put that in the washing machine.
Really?
I don't know. We could try it. Run this over it one more time, and maybe it'll kind of loosen up. Maybe then we'll try to shove it in there. Well, I managed to cram all that carpet into my washing machine. So I'm just going to throw it in here and just kind of let it rinse it out. Ugh. Dude, I'm not dumping that down my sink. Ugh. Hey. Ew, the washer's disgusting now.
Ugh.
But hey, my car's carpet is clean.
Kind of.
It's soft. It smells like lavender. We're gonna go ahead and throw the carpet in the car, and maybe try to toss the interior back together. To clean everything, super clean, sent me a whole cleaning kit and a hat. And we'll use this to clean off the door panels and the quarter trim and all the rat urine covered stuff. Then we could sit in the car without dying. Now that it's been nice and fabric softened, it moves nice.
Yeah.
Because it isn't quite pre-formed, is it? It's just kind of does whatever it wants to. I do think it doesn't look too bad.
Oh, no. I think it looks fine.
It actually cleaned up better than I thought. So there's the center console. Spray her down with the super clean.
Yeah.
So lather it. There you go. You can do the lower dash piece too. See it over there?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Just wipe it out. Try to clean it half-assed before we put it back in the car. That stuff actually cleans really good. Look at the black on that thing. It looks like new.
Yeah.
It's disgusting.
Like, what is that?
Poop.
Because all in that.
Well, I think that was their toilet.
Yeah.
JD got this cleaned up real nice, but every single little scrivet this thing takes is broken, of course. So what I'm going to do is JB weld it back together while he continues to clean some of the other stuff here. It's cold. Doesn't want to come out of its tube. Stir, 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 stir. God, it's cold out here. Just gonna goop some of this in here to attempt to hold it on. It's broken every way there is to break it. Is not exactly what you want. We'll let Isaac Newton's gravity help us out and work on it down here.
Isaac Newton?
Yeah. Isaac Newton and his fancy gravity.
Oh.
He's gonna hold this down for us. All them new fancy scientifical things. Like gravity and the earth is flat and whatnot.
Back in my day.
Back in my day, we didn't have gravity. We just floated everywhere. And we liked it. Kind of using it like cement, just kind of paving it in over the cracks.
That's what you're supposed to.
Just a little rat poop. Get over it. Back in my day, all we had was rat poop. And we liked it. Okay, well now that I got that in, I'm just going to go ahead and pour some super glue all around in there too, just in case. You never know. Yep. Looks pretty good. Not really, but it'll probably hold it. How's this coming?
Good.
Yeah.
Clean. I think
Way
I'll,
better.
dump off all the
Yeah.
remaining poop.
A couple hours later, and it's nice and dry. All back in one piece. Hackery? Maybe. But does it work? Yeah, it works fine. Don't ever hesitate to just kind of butch something. It's fine. Nobody's going to ever know. I learned you got to put this lower dash piece in before you can put the console in. The wiring in this thing is spaghetti city, but for the time being, we can throw a couple of screws in here just to, kind of make it look like it's in here. That's really just for my own sanity more than anything. It's a lot easier to stay motivated and working on something if it's a car, already. I'm gonna go ahead and plug the gauges in and stuff because who knows, maybe the stuff works. It kind of fits. Probably because this is for an automatic. Well, that's hooked up. Now we can install aggressively. We're ready to put seats back in. I only got half of a back seat, but I just want to show you, this has always been one of my favorite cleaners. Just kind of let that soak on there a little bit. See how nasty, moldy that is? Just a paper towel. Look at that. This is all like grease. It's not just dirt. It's all kinds of nasty stuff. So everybody go on Super Clean's Instagram. Tell him you saw it on Pole Barn Garage and that they need to send him a 55-gallon drum of the stuff. We got a van to work on eventually. I think it goes without saying we need some industrial strength cleaner for that thing. All right, I'm going to do this to all the seats, and then we're going to toss them back in, and I guess half the back seat because it's better than no back seat. the hole. Come on. Come on. Oh, pile driver. One of these in here before it changes its mind. Anyway, you get the idea. Let's slam these in here. And we'll call the interior good enough for now. Obviously, we got, a lot of other things to do, but at least the seats will be back in it. And we could drive it, maybe, once we do the fuel system. Looking pretty dang good. I really like it. Need a set of floor mats in it. And the rest of the back seat would be nice. And put all this trim up, and clean the headliner up, and sun visors. But besides all of that stuff, it is looking pretty cool in here. I like it. I'll put JD to work tomorrow, probably cleaning up the dash and stuff. But right now, I'm going to put the sill plates in, and that lets me demonstrate another super clean product, but not that one. Oops. This one. Wheel cleaner, right? Well, I figure these are either stainless or aluminum, and, depending which one it is, this will destroy them. And this is obviously not a, probably what they imagined I would use this for, but, frankly, they should have known better. I wish I had something other than paper towels. I mean, these are pretty well, clapped, but I gotta say, it definitely kind of cleaned it up there. That's not bad. They cleaned up pretty decent for, not even trying. I could take a polish wheel to it and bring it back, but this is good enough for what I'm doing. Well, that's not gonna work. These tires are quite a bit bigger than what would have been on the Eagle originally. Not much room for anything else if I do this. The gas tank's right under there, so it doesn't go underneath. I think I'll get a fancier spare tire cover for that, and I guess never buy groceries in this car. Let's see, those are in. And we are mostly assembled. I gotta confess, this is the only reason I put the seats in. Nope. There's nothing there. There's third, fourth, fifth. Reverse! I think. We got some playing to do with this. Yeah, it's sloppier than I won't say. Alright, for our next trick, what we're going to do is clean up this fuel pressure regulator, put a new fuel filter on it, cut about 14 feet of fuel hose out of this thing, and maybe throw a carburetor on it. Maybe try to drive it. I don't know. We'll see. First and foremost, this is a Holley fuel pressure regulator that's on it. Seems to work, so. But the thing is, you don't really just want to leave these things dangling around on you. They kind of need to be mounted. I mean, because there's gas in here. And gas, when it vibrates around fittings and stuff, it tends to, spray out. And then when you have an electric fuel pump, it keeps running even though car not run, and then car go boom, and that's bad. I found this thing. I don't know, this bracket was on it somewhere, and I think it's the old clutch master cylinder reservoir bracket. Actually fits around this pretty good. So what I'm going to do is just kind of mount this. I probably ought to put fuel filter and stuff on first, but you can kind of see that it clamps around this pretty good. Let that clamp around it, bolt this to the firewall, and then at least this will be, stable-ish. Come on, anytime you're ready. God, that is some ripe gas. Chunks. Ugh. This is some kind of random filter with a return line I found. I kind of wish I, could have found a better filter than this. Like one that isn't for a newer car with quick connect fittings, but, the parts store guy. You go in there and ask for, I just need a fuel filter for, with a return line in it. What color is it? So they got the return line running all the way over there. I want to see where that goes, see if I can just run it under the engine up to this side. Try to keep as much fuel off the top of the engine as possible. What they were doing was using this vapor line as a return line, which is fine. It's clear the hell over here. There should have been originally a return line on the fuel pump side, but I'm not seeing it, so we'll just use what they used and try to do it a little bit better, maybe. If we can just get it out of this little bracket here, and then just kind of rebend it to run behind the engine, at least it'll clean it up a little bit and eliminate about 4 feet of rubber hose. They had the right idea, they just had kind of bad execution. Another little bracket back here. The more crap we get out of our way up here, the easier it's going to be to try to adapt a 4-barrel onto this. Want more bracket dealy out of the way? Got it kind of looped around here. Also, I might have made a horrible error on this intake. I thought it was a 4-barrel intake, but there's at least 5 adapters on it. I don't really know what I got to work with here. Somebody watched the Engine Masters where they tested carb spacers and took that a little too seriously. There we go. Shooting right behind the valve cover there. So now we only need about a foot of hose. And it's not great, but it's way better than it was. This other little vapor line doesn't really go anywhere. We could get rid of it. Kind of hate to do this because it's hard on the fuel pump, but that gas is really bad. And I don't think there's a whole lot left in the tank, but I'm going to try to drain some just in case. Oh man, that's gross. Again, it's really bad on a fuel pump to do this, but oh well. I think it'll be worth it. Yuck. I'm going to say that's about it. That's about probably 3 gallons out of there. At least that's 3 less gallons of garbage. Let's go ahead and kill the fuel pump before it dies. Alright, so here's what we got. Kind of ugly, but it'll get the job done. At least it's up here. Fuel filter running up to it. Don't love it, but it is what it is. And at least it's kind of away from everything. It's relatively solid. Everything just kind of runs right behind the valve cover to the carburetor, which is where we are headed next. Look at this. There's, what? 1, 2, 3, 4 adapters on this? What the hell is it? I don't know. I'm pretty sure maybe it is a 2-barrel manifold. I don't know. Let's find out. Pop this off. That was way too easy. I've had these screwdrivers for probably 5 years, and I've never once tried this. But they're the Harbor Freight screwdrivers with the nut thing on the top. Oh! I'm gonna guess that's just cosmetic. Aha! That did the trick. Pull that off 3 more times. Yep. I'll be damned. Did I just create a new invention? Pretty sure I did. It's now patented. And this is why I will survive the apocalypse. What am I removing? I have no idea. Okay, that's 4 of them off. Now, why wouldn't that just come right off now, huh? Oh, yeah? Oh. That's a freaking 4150 flange if I've ever seen one. I guess, yeah, I could run the 2-barrel actually just by removing this adapter and then putting a 2-barrel adapter. That's why they do it, isn't it? They make it a kind of an odd shape so you can put 2 or 4-barrel on. Look at that. A, what is all this cog stuff here? It's scary. I don't like that. B, we got 1, 2, so 2 spacers, a 2 to 4-barrel adapter, then the 4-barrel adapter. So there are 4 spacers on here. They must have got the Clifford 6+8 or 6=8 intake kit and just put every single thing that it came with on there. Let's go ahead and spritz this up with some super clean. Make sure our next gasket will seat on there pretty good. Make sure to drop all these paper towel shavings down in the intake. It's good for it. I wonder if that wheel cleaner would do anything to that intake. Aluminum wheel, aluminum intake. What's the difference? Marinate for a little bit. Let's see what happens. That actually made a damn difference. That's like really impressive. You know, if I actually had like a Scotch-Brite or something to rub that with, it would come right around. Save that for another day though. This whole throttle conglomeration down here appears to be held together with zip ties and 1 bolt, maybe? Maybe 1 bolt, I'm not. Good thing is that it's a cable operated pedal. Goodness, what is that held on to? Something underneath. Oh, god dang it. You gotta do this without destroying said throttle cable. If I could just get that unclipped, then we are free to pillage at will. Here we've just got a standard throttle cable here with a little ball pivot on it, and I think it's just long enough that it would probably reach. Let's just give her a trial fit real quick. Ooh. Ah, it's almost there. If I could just get a little bit out of it. That'll work. Barely. That looks absolutely freaking ridiculous on there. I started cleaning that intake a little bit right here, and it's been painted about 400 times, I think. So that's a good candidate to get painted again. Gotta get this bracket out of our way. It's no longer doing anything, so I'm not sure what the hell that bolts to, but I'm kind of done asking questions. It's freaking bolted to the bottom of the something over here. Ow, it's hot. Yeah, the good thing about this is it's real easy to work on. Come on, almost got it. It's a square nut. Back of this thing. God. And the other half of it's still on here, and it's staying on here because I can't freaking move it. So look how much more room there is in there now. Much better. But he decided to gorilla these damn carb studs into place. Normally I wouldn't really concern myself with it, except for they're too long and they have a shank on them that sticks well above the carburetor. Got to get these things ungorilled. Go, got our new studs jammed in here, and you know they're just kind of hand tight. Don't need to, you know, really don't got to go nuts tightening them down. They'll kind of twist in there when you tighten them up with the carb on. Get our fancy gasket out here. Nice. Just plop her on down on here. Nice. Just like it's supposed to be there. Kind of. Except not really, but you know. God, that looks just ridiculous. I love it. Well, we need a throttle bracket, right? For the cable thing that, you know, plugs in. And I found this is off of a small block Chevy. And you might think, oh, well, he's going to use the throttle part. Yes, but how am I going to bolt it to the carb? See, I'm going to use one of the ears of the carb to bolt this on. Well, where the vacuum booster hole is, works pretty good. It kind of sits like there, and the cable shoots through here. It's pretty good. So what I'm going to do is just chop this up, and we're just going to bolt it on there with like a big washer or something. And that's going to work really good. But the best part of having an AMC is, guys don't care when you do stuff like this. AMC guys are pretty cool, because they know that their cars were already built out of like everything laying around. So when you do stuff like this, they're like, wow, that's really creative. Instead of like, you know, sending you dangerous packages in the mail. And there we go. One of these. You know, I guess. So we need to find a throttle ball that'll fit that. And thankfully, Holley had sent me all these throttle balls for JD's car a while back, which I've never used. But obviously I was able to predict the future, and now I will. We got to get this on here so that we can figure out where we need to put that bracket. And it just barely reaches one of the holes right here. I never ran a 4-barrel that was this tiny. Snaps on there like it's supposed to be there almost. Oh boy, it doesn't let it relax all the way. There's one more hole back here I could grab. Too small, but it is in a better location. Damn it, I wish that wasn't on the car. I could drill that way easier. You know, that's so freaking stupid, it might just work. You can see here it's perfectly in line, but it seems to work. I don't know, you guys tell me what happens when I hit the gas. Play along now. I said play along, damn it. Holy cow. God, that's so dumb, it works. I love it. I think I probably need to throw a zip tie around this throttle cable bracket because it's a square and the cable is a circle, but we're not going to let Sesame Street and their shapes get in our way. That worked pretty good. Let's put gas in it. Probably pouring right out on the ground. Any time today would be good with me. Come on. Problem with filling things up with gas when you use an open flame heater is you really shouldn't use the open flame heater when filling things up with gas. I don't know. Does my insurance cover? See if we get lucky. Picking up something. Oh, big leaks. Big leaks. This little guy was apparently less than tight. Just give her a little extra. We got squirtage. Well, she's good and flooded now. Well, we got fuel. We got spark. It pretty much just leaves maybe the thing jumped time or something. It's not like it was running, good before. So I rig up a little jumper wire here to try to crank this thing with. So I can sit out here and play with the distributor. Beautiful. Oh yeah, by the way, I put a new solenoid on it. That's why this is working now. Maybe literally the plugs are just that bad. I know it's got spark because it zapped the hell out of me off camera. Crank open that idle screw a bit just in case. There's no lakes of fuel under it, so I mean that's a plus. There we go. Trying. I'm betting money it's probably the plugs are completely soaked. Let's see what we got for plugs in this bad boy. Probably not good would be my initial guess. But I've been surprised before. Looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, it looks really cool.
This one's kind of tough to get to, but the rest of them don't look bad. Not that bad. I've seen much worse. I don't see any reason why that wouldn't run. Insulator's cracked on it though. This one's pretty bad. You can see there. It wasn't doing much firing at all. One way to know if a plug isn't firing. Oh good, it's just oil, not gas. These were pretty bad. You can see they're wet, and that's a problem, especially when it has spark. And the gaps are way too wide. I mean, I could stick my arm through it. Yeah, and they're platinum plugs. That's never a good idea with an old school ignition system like this. Just don't do it. Let's run some plain old copper plugs. Also, these spark plug wires are miles long. Miles and miles long. We're gonna run up and get some plugs, maybe some plug wires. Cap and rotor look fine, looks like brand new. So I just tried to buy plugs for it, and it had 258 plugs in it. I really think this is a 4.0 or something. So I don't know if you guys can read that casting number, 609M30. If you know what that means, please let me know. There's no fuel pump provision anywhere. I don't know what the hell this thing is. It's kind of driving me nuts. There's no fuel pump provision. That means it's got to be a fuel injection motor, right? There's the head bolts there. Those look like they're 5/8 head bolts, probably. These are 258. These are too. The only difference is the throw is a lot longer on the 258 plug than the 4.0 plug. So, I don't know. We'll put what was in it back in it. See there? See how their gap is like, you got to jump across it? And then this is gapped at 45 thousandths. That's what you want. I'm just going to give it a little shot at this just... hell? Has it got a dead hole or something? It doesn't run like it's got a dead hole. Mystery solved. I didn't put the number 1 plug wire back on it. Yes, it did have a dead hole. It sure did. Ran pretty good on 5. Oh, I'm tired, guys. Cut me some slack. I definitely got to lean out that choke. That thing's set up way too tight. Well, in a turn of events that I'm sure absolutely nobody saw coming, my wire cleaning methods in here seem to have eliminated the choke wire. You know, that's fine. I just grabbed one of these other random loose wires that does have 12 volts keyed power, and we'll just use it. I mean, what does it do? I don't know. Does it matter? Probably. Well, I haven't thrown away any of the wire I pulled out of it, so I got plenty of that. It even matches. Crimp, crimp, crimp. Pull, pull, pull. Looks good to me. We still got lots of tidying up to do yet. Really coming around, I gotta say. Can't really drive it, but those goofy ass LED headlights it's got in it don't really work. But we can back her out and see if we got a clutch.
No brakes. Oh boy, back in we go. That's good.
The dieseling's a little concerning. Yeah, right to the floor on the brakes. Gonna be one of those things we gotta just deal with, right? But probably still need to lean that choke out a bit and put a timing light on it. And my timing light met an unfortunate accident with me and is dead. So you know what? That clutch feels fantastic. I mean, it went boom, no problem. I don't mind driving around with no brakes in the daytime, so maybe tomorrow we go take her for a spin around the yard at least. Brake fluid looks pretty rough. A little low. Top it off, I guess. Brake fluid doesn't really just, you know, disappear on its own. Gasket thingy was sucked down again. It got a leak somewhere for sure, or wouldn't be doing that. It drove over these wheel chocks with no problem. Scooted them all the way over here. I'm gonna guess the brake light switch isn't hooked up. Oh well. Sometimes it's okay to just take a minute and just kind of, you know, revel in your accomplishments just a little bit until you dive right back into the shit. Like, I'm noticing the brake reservoir is literally draining as I'm standing here talking to you. Can I hear it dripping? I think so. Where is it? Oh, yep. I'll be down. Huh. Yeah. Well, you know, you get that on these jobs. Blew the rubber hose up there. It's not what you like to see right there. I was hoping I could pinch it off. It does not look like I will be able to do that. This will probably be our last little bit of stuff to do here. Change out the service loop plug wires this thing had. These are, I don't know what those are for. Not this. So I bought some plug wires for a like 90s Cherokee and kind of assumed they might work, but you know how that goes. Yeah, like, look, it needs to go like a foot. I mean, come on. Anyway, I'm going to throw those on there. I like to get the timing set a little bit, and we're not going to let a lack of brakes stop us from taking this around the field. With the HEI cap on there, I can't use the number 1 or number 6 wire that was supplied with it. So what I'm going to do is probably go dig up some extras I had. But one of them on here wasn't too terribly long, just to kind of make it blend in a little bit. Hook her down with some super clean. Give her a little scrubbing. Try to clean it up, try to make it look like the new ones, kinda. There. Doesn't look too bad. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this old numero uno wire, toss us a new terminal on the end of it. We'll cut it down to length. I always keep, when I buy my wire kits, I always keep the extras, you know, the extra boots, the terminals and stuff like that. It looks like it might pay off here, because this one has just like a little repair kit. It's got a 90-degree HEI end on either end, and we only got to mess with one end of this anyhow. So let's see how long it needs to be. You've seen me do it before, and I usually prefer to make my own wires instead of buying these kind of, you know, generic kits. I may end up doing that down the road, but I just noticed how long those were, and I was kind of maybe imagining that, I don't know, maybe it's got way too much resistance in the wire or something. Probably not great for it. I need it to be about that long. Kind of measure back, you know, you want this to set in there, you know, so you just want to strip back about that much, about the width of the terminal. Use a razor blade and my teeth. There we go. Stick your core back underneath the wire here. Set your terminal on there. Crimp it. I don't got no fancy crimp tool. Just a pair of pliers. Give it a tug. Make sure it seems like it's going to stay on there. And just spin on it. Slide it over. One brand new plug wire. I got to clean her off with some super clean and stick it on there. Let's get this baby fired up again. See if she'll fire up without any help. Not sure what the deal is with that. She definitely needs some work. I think that choke is sticking shut still. Those things are never adjusted right out of the box. But let's have some fun with it anyway. I'm kind of sick of working on it for right now. And I have an emergency engine swap to perform in a few hours. So, you know, time's tight. Well, that sucks. Damn it. Join the Low Buck Club to help me buy a new camera lens. Well, that sucks, but we gotta move on, so let's tickle a little more timing into it. Wait, this is not the most convenient thing in the world. I'm gonna have to like make a 90-degree screwdriver to get to that.
Sounds better.
Well, it sounds better. Let's see if anything comes up. Whole transmission's moving whenever I put it in gear. Probably got a bad training mount. Oh, that's so much better. Maybe not. Second gear is kind of AWOL. That's third. Got heat. No. Still here. Puked a little bit. That works. Thermostat opened. It's warm. I think that's going to do it for this one, folks. I think we made a hell of a lot of progress. Obviously, still not right. I think we probably are dealing with some vacuum leaks, would be my guess. Or the valves are just wasted. I can hear a lot of upper end noise. So we're going to have to pop that valve cover off of there and, you know, see what's going on. Something wrong. But, you know what? It's not that bad. I mean, we took something that didn't run, didn't drive, and now drives. And has a decent looking interior to boot. So, you know, not bad, not bad. Again, lots of work to do yet, but that's what it's all about. Making baby steps, baby steps, baby steps. We'll see you guys next time on Pole Barn Garage. Check out the Low Buck Club if you don't mind. You got shirts and stuff like that are for sale right below the video in Spread Shop. Just click on that, open that link, and it'll take you right to the store where I've got, not a whole bunch of stuff, but a few different kinds of shirts and hoodies and stuff like that you've seen me wear on the channel. Hey, we'll see you guys next time on Pole Barn Garage. I got to go put a motor in a K5 Blazer this weekend, an emergency engine swap. So that'll actually be the next video you see, then the Roadrunner.